Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on November 28, 2023. Former world leaders seek $25 billion levy on oil states' revenues to pay for climate damage. Iceland volcano live, strongest earthquake in 48 hours recorded amid eruption fear. When sea levels rise, so does your rent. How Hamas built a force to attack Israel on the 7th of October. Rainbow Bridge crash, Niagara Falls police warn against misinformation. The Independent, Niagara police chief warns against misinformation following Rainbow Bridge crash. The Independent, from Niagara Falls to Texas to Gaza, a horrifying look into the abyss of a post-truth future. The Philadelphia Inquirer, following Rainbow Bridge crash, Niagara police chief warns about spread of misinformation. Too little, too late, the desperate search for cod babies. Santos talks to GOP speaker about his options ahead of expulsion vote. The Independent, George Santos expulsion vote, how does a member of Congress get kicked out? Bloomberg, George Santos is the Mary Magdalene of United States Congress, Representative George Santos. MSNBC, the House has no more options but to expel George Santos. Sierra Leone prison breaks, 13 soldiers killed in violence. BBC, Sierra Leone soldiers killed amid hunt for army base attackers. Bloomberg, most leaders of the attacks on Sierra Leone's military barracks and prisons arrested as curfew eases. The Independent, what may have sparked the mutiny in Sierra Leone? Toxic gas putting millions at risk in Middle East, BBC finds. Aid agencies welcome extension of Gaza truce but fear its end. The Guardian, people in Gaza are still in desperate need, despite truce, Al Jazeera newsfeed. Al Jazeera English, Israel-Palestine, who controls the Egypt-Gaza Rafah crossing. Middle East Eye, Cheshire NHS doctor says family's situation in Gaza has worsened despite ceasefire. Cheshire Live, UN says 61 trucks carrying medical supplies deliver aid in northern Gaza. COP28 host UAE plan to promote oil deals during climate talks. The Guardian, COP28, UAE plan to use climate talks to make oil deals. BBC, the checkbook COP, UAE's $200 billion bid for climate influence. Financial Times, COP28, inside the United Arab Emirates, the oil giant hosting 2023 Climate Change Summit. The Conversation, COP28, UAE plan to use climate change summit meetings to push oil and gas deals, leaked documents reportedly show. Granny, I've been shot, said Palestinian student targeted in Vermont. BBC, Vermont shooting, suspect pleads not guilty in shooting of Palestinian college students. The Independent, man arrested after 3 Palestinian students shot in possible hate crime. STV News, Vermont shooting, victim jumped fence to escape attack after he was hit. Dublin stabbing, it was like slow motion, says Filipino nurse who provided first aid to victim. Sky News, Dublin, rally in support of migrants following last week's riots. BBC, Harris says conflation of issues led to Dublin riots. The Irish News, Dublin is broken, on edge, leaderless and abandoned by government. The Irish Times, the Dublin riots shocked Ireland, but some of us saw this creep to the far right coming. India tunnel collapse, rescuers attempt vertical drilling after safer options hit trouble. The Guardian, Uttarakhand tunnel collapse, rescuers explore new ways to reach trapped Indians. BBC, India rescuers dig by hand to free 41 tunnel workers trapped for weeks. Al Jazeera English, ration stocked up, oxygen pipe extended for Uttarakhand tunnel workers. Times of India, a touchstone of risk, the Hindu editorial on the rescue efforts in the Silkayara tunnel in Uttarkashi. Israel-Gaza hostages, latest, 9 children among 11 new hostages released by Hamas. The Independent, Israel-Gaza war, the Red Cross delicate role in hostage crises. BBC, meeting troops, Gallant says IDF will be stronger when it returns to fighting after truce. The Times of Israel, Hamas says it is seeking to extend truce with Israel, BBC News. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.